All right, guys, let's jump into the neurological levels of change. The framework is really simple and it's really useful. And it's great to have a conversation around. So imagine this is like your first coaching session. You've got some problem or something that is tangible that you would like to resolve. It might be you aiming for a goal, or it might be you want to resolve the past. And we have to try and figure out where to do some work. So let's now jump into these neurological levels of change for the starting point. It's a really good starting point. So it looks like this. So make sure I frame this okay. So we've got this triangle. Okay, so you got this triangle. And the idea is, this is, for me, two things. One is about measurement. The other one is about where to actually do work. These are the levels of change. The very first level is environment. The environments that you find yourself in is not just the room like I'm in now. It's not just your workspace. It's not just the physical space. It's also people. It's also your overall ecology. And that can be very revealing when you start looking at your ecology, looking at your whole life, looking at your whole situation. And you realize, oh, there's a few elephants in the room that need to be addressed, right? So environment is a good measurement. I see it when I look at this as a measurement. Okay, what are your environments? Because your environments can seriously impact all the way up to identity, which we'll get to in a little piece. So environment, very, very good starting point. And the next level is habit and behavior. I think that's the Australian spelling or the English spelling for those who might be in America. So your habits and your behaviors is the second level, which is pretty obvious. It's a clue on another measurement. Like, what are your habits? What are your behaviors? What are your day-to-day rituals? I think it's Tony Robbins who said that your rituals dictate your life. And we all have rituals. People are creatures of habit. Okay, so your habits and your behaviors, another good measuring piece. Let me move up to the next level, and that is your skills and your capabilities. Right, so your abilities, your capabilities, your skills is a reflection of a whole bunch of things that you've done in your life. And these skills and these behaviors are come from your experiences, and your experiences and your knowledge come together to form skills. Those experiences came from habits and possibly environments, right? So really powerful piece. Then we move up to the next level, and this is your beliefs and your values. Right? So your beliefs and your values, really powerful. So your beliefs about yourself will dictate whether you feel worthy enough to go and actually learn something. And then once you've learned something, that'll increase your capabilities. And if you've got a belief in a certain type of person, that will impact on your behaviors and your habits. And your beliefs will never let yourself put yourself in a bad set of environments. And so if there's a bad, toxic situation, your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about the situation will get you out of it or keep you in it. So beliefs and then values, really valuable, because these are your driving neurological force. These are the things that are important to you. If you want a good self-esteem, your values, if you live to them, you will feel fantastic. If you do not live to your values, you will feel like rubbish. In fact, the word guilt is actually an interesting one, because if you're feeling guilty about something, that means you hold something at a very high value. If you knew you did the wrong thing, you're feeling guilty, because if you didn't feel guilty, apparently all of the Formula One drivers who are the best in the world have zero guilt because they will cut you off in traffic to win the championship, right? So if you feel guilty, it means that this thing that you did wrong actually is very high on your values list. And so we've got to find and engineer ways to get you to live to your values so you lift your energy. So now we jump to the next piece, and that is identity. Identity. Who am I? Very powerful. So if you catch yourself saying, I'm just not that kind of person, or I am this, or I am that, those two little words, I am, are a clue, which is if I'm coaching you, I'll be like looking out for your I am statements. That is the true roadmap to your brain. So this is about getting to know you. It's about getting to know the people around you. It's about getting to know who you think you are. And it's about learning how to interact with the world better. So there's your identity. Then we come up the top here, because out of the top of all this, we have the word purpose. Some people have the word spirit, if you're a religious person, but there's something more important. And the most basic purpose that is bigger than you is actually things like your kids. Most people, I've watched them transform when they have children, and all of a sudden they will just pour their soul into this little person. And so you're moving into that bigger purpose of when you have children, there's a purpose that's bigger than you. There's a purpose that is more important than just your own egoic needs. You'll go through hell and back for your children. It's the continuation of your bloodline. It's a responsibility. It's something that's bigger than you. And as a result, we sacrifice because it's bigger than us, right? Some people it's religion. Some people it's something else. There's something they love about it. So the purpose is the big piece. And so you've got the higher, who am I, or who on a higher level are we dealing with here? And who else involved in that process. And as we go down, I've added some extra words here. Who do I need to become to overcome the thing? And who am I being right now? Now you'll notice there's two sides to this. We've got the ego and we've got the soul. We've got taking and we've got giving. So if you're giving too much in your life, then you need to take a little bit more to sustain yourself. Like on the plane, when they always say on the aeroplane, the oxygen mask comes down, you put it on yourself first and your kids second. Why? Because if you go unconscious, you're no good to your kids, even if they've got a mask on, right? So it's about that purpose bigger than you, that balance of give and take. Conversely, if you're taking too much and you're finding all your relationships are falling down, you're finding no one wants to be around you, you're finding that everything's falling apart, you might have taken too much. And I need to get onto the giving side, right? Life's about balance, give and take, yin and yang. So that is the positive and the negative. Then we move back down to identity. And we've got who am I and who do I need to become? Underneath that, the building blocks of an identity is beliefs and values. Why do you want this thing? And what is important to me? Right? So the really important pieces. So these things here are the real measuring stick, are the change work that then below this, everything's a measuring stick in my mind. When I saw this, I realized, okay, right. So your skills, your capabilities, your habits, your behaviors, and your environments are really measurements, right? So you can use these three levels to measure, are you changing your identity? Are you shifting those beliefs? Are you living in alignment with your values? And if you're not, these three here, okay, you showed up in this environment, that was a good one. Another environment was a bad one. You've got some great habits over here, but still got some habits over here, which says we haven't quite nailed the identity piece. You've got some skills over here that are good, but some skills over here where you need some work. And the capabilities, right? So these are just what I see as measurement without judgment, right? Measurement that you can help yourself move forward with. And so if I was with you coaching, or you're going to coach someone else, you could take them for a spin around this conversation. Where do I need to show up? What do I need to be doing? Which skill do I need to get? Why do I want to do it? Who do I need to become? And who at a higher level is doing this, right? It's really powerful questions inside this framework. And then we've got the who else is involved? Who am I being? What is important to me? What do I need? What do I do? And when I am here. So this is about breaking things up so you can focus. Now, when we're doing coaching, you're going to have a conversation, and that conversation is going to be really clear what's going on, because you're going to reveal a lot. When you start talking, your unconscious mind accidentally reveals itself, right? So let's imagine you've got anxiety. Okay, so where are you feeling anxious? Well, maybe it's at work, maybe it's at school, maybe you've got a bully at school, maybe it's when you're presenting on stage, right? Good clue. What habits are going on for you? What's the pattern? Are you doing something thinking something? Are you feeling something? Like, what's going on to lead to this? Maybe it's a series of circumstances that leads to this problem, this anxiety. Do you have any skills? Or you have no skills at all on how to manage your own nervous system? Have you tried breath work? Have you tried meditation? Have you tried doing NLP skills? Have you done life coaching skills? Have you done tapping? There's a whole bunch of things you could try. And if you haven't got any skills, well, then that's where the reset room will help you reset using some skills. If you've got a lot of good measurements going on, we look at the beliefs. What are you believing when you've got that anxiety? Or what's important to you that you think's going to be missing, that you're feeling that you're going to miss something? And then identity. Who am I being when I have the anxiety? And who would I be if I didn't have the anxiety? We can start to unconsciously build in a future self that has solved this. But first, this is a good measuring stick, don't you think? And then we get to purpose. Well, what's the bigger purpose for having this anxiety? What is the thing you're trying to protect against? What is the thing you're afraid of losing? And so there might be someone at a higher level that's already resolved this, but more importantly, who else can be involved to help me? Because you might be feeling isolated. So you think about that, you talk up one side and down the other. You've got the soul and the take giving, and then the ego and the taking. There's that yin and there's that yang. There's that balancing act. And when I take someone for a conversation up and around this, at the end of it, we have some really clear takeaways. We have some very clear direction, and we'll quite often end up in your beliefs or your values and measuring identity as we go through. It's a fabulous little framework. I love it. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you've enjoyed this video and that this is giving you something to use. Think about in your mind, if you just had these 5 words: environment, habit, skill, belief, values, and identity, leading to a higher purpose. Very powerful. I'll see you in the next video. Tait, see you in the next video.